Hey everybody, and welcome back to another devlog of Sharks, my little pie game development project that I started a few months ago. And as I mentioned last video, I've been traveling over the last few weeks. So I did what I could, and every now and then I was working a little bit on a new character that I want to show off. And also, I worked on making the whole implementation of these, what I call vector sprites, a bit more easy. So now I can write all the different layers for the different orientations of the character into a JSON file that then can be read in by my utilities file and used by the player game object. So let me show you what this looks like. What you can see here are different versions of my vector sprite, and every version corresponds to one direction in the game that the sprite can be facing. And again, every version consists of its own layers that make up the whole sprite. And then of course we need the corresponding colors for every layer. And the vector sprite class will read in this file and then save all these layers as polygons with the corresponding color, and it has an extra little function that will make sure to output the correct version for the orientation of the sprite in the game. And this is what we end up with, a little old man sprite that I've been working painstakingly layer by layer during my travels, but I'm actually quite happy with how he turned out. And he's not going to be a playable character, he is supposed to be the merchant character. So I still haven't implemented the whole vector sprite based display for the merchant. So that's what I'm going to work on next. And then the alpaca will be gone for good, at least for the time being.
What? What do you mean?
And here we are, merchant on a boat, working as intended. And I was tweaking a little bit more this action point here, so now instead of being at the tip of the boat, it is always at the tile that it is landing on, which makes things a bit easier. And he's gone again. Looks quite good, I think. So now, another thing I'm excited to start working on is a bit of an NPC pathfind. No, not pathfinding, it's the wrong word, but a little bit of a movement AI, and I have no idea how to get started on this, but that is one of the goals for this week's devlog. A couple days later, I made some more progress, and let's find our merchant up here in the corner and let's see what he brought for us. Oh, look at that. Alpaca's back on the island. And as you can see, it is actually already moving around a little bit. It was much more simple than I expected, and I'm pretty much got it first try the way it is now. So let's have a quick look at the code. So the alpaca is part of the animal class I've been working on. It uses the same vector sprite as the player and the merchant characters. And in the move AI, which is mostly taking over from the sharks, just instead of reflecting from the land tiles, it is reflecting from the water tiles. I added this part here, which causes this random wandering effect. And all it does, it produces this random walk time and a random wait time and a random velocity. So while the timer is less than the walk time, it will move the alpaca. And once the walk timer is surpassed, it will wait for the wait timer to be passed as well. And after that, it will be reset and find a new random velocity. And that's all it is. Super simple, but it looks very nice. Let's have a look at it with a few more of them, shall we? I just spawned a couple in as we get started here, and they should be wandering around fairly randomly over the map. I do want to work a bit more on something like a herding mechanism, so them being drawn to each other rather than walking around completely randomly. But that might be a bigger project that I will save for later. For now, I'm quite happy with how this looks. Of course, I couldn't leave it at that. I had to give it at least a bit of a try. So this is what I did. I implemented a very simple herding algorithm. It's very subtle, so if you only have a few animals, you probably wouldn't see the difference, but I've prepared something for you. If you speed up time, you should be able to see the difference. Have you guessed it yet? Which one is which? Yeah, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? So the left side is the completely random one, and on the right side we have a little bit of a herding algorithm. Let me show you how this works. The only thing I added to the walking timer with the random direction and the waiting timer is that the random direction can be the direction of a random other animal in the game. So whenever the wait timer is up, I give it a random animal and it will follow that animal. And because there's only a limited number of alpacas, that will keep them more or less together. And I think that's all I needed for now, just a little bit of a herding mechanic. Later on I want to get the player involved as well, so the player has some control of where the alpacas are going on the island. But we'll get to that at some point. That's gonna be it for this devlog though. I kinda already started working behind the scenes on a big restructuring update for the next devlog. Not sure how long it's gonna take me, there's gonna be a lot of groundwork to be done at the base of the code, but I'm kind of excited with the first attempts I've been trying. It's not that special, but it gets me excited. All I'm gonna say is, best guns. See you next time.